gagawin mo lang naman is magbilang. So, direct counting. Ay dito, how many power outages are there? Oh, nakikita nyo naman ang power outages dito. 1, 2, 3, o 4. Okay? And then bilang tayo ng lighting naman. Okay, marami nagkakamali dito kasi ang akala nila yung meron lang parang sanga eh. So, hindi nila kinakount, merong bilog dun sa may stairway, which is still a lighting outlet. So, bilang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, diba? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, o 18. Kitang-kita, dapat lang talaga malinaw ang mata. 18 lighting outlets. Now, short circuit happened to the electric fan in the stair landing, which lighting panel will let twist and check for the condition afterwards. Siguro may twist lang ng konti yung word is dito, ay nakalimutan kasi yung LP. Lighting panel yan eh, electric fan to, dapat PT or power panel. As I've said in the circuit breaker diagram, hindi pwedeng 1 or circuit breaker number 1, ilaw yan eh. So, halimbawa mga saksi, kaya minsan nililabel. So, lighting pa rin lighting yan. Hanggang sa mga total, in plain simple circuitry, when you go for 1, that's lighting. When you go for this, already power. So, malamang nasa 2 yan, circuit breaker number 2. So, ini-check ng 1, ng electrician. Kasi, nag-trip. Paano yung malalaman nag-trip? Yung pinaka-switch wala sa kanan, wala sa kaliwa, nasa gitna, so nag-neutral. So, alam niya na nangyari ang protection ng circuit breaker dun sa part na yun ng circuit breaker. Kasi once na short circuit nag-overload, trip kagad yun. So, yung trip niya nasa gitna. Okay. Intindihan ba? So, yun nga, probable power circuit breaker dapat tingnan ng electrician. Okay. So, if the okay na yun, kinokorek ko. If the power panel shut off, that ng mga power, alin lang matitira sa ilaw. So, TV uses power panel, computer uses power panel, shower uses power panel, which is, power panel, which is circuit breaker number 3 ng bawa yan. So, the only one that will remain on is the lamp sheet. Okay. Now, sabi niyo, halimbawa naka-plug on. Okay, I appreciate yung sinasabi ng naka-plug on. But what if this is a sconce type of a lamp sheet? So, lighting pa rin yan. Mahina pa rin compared with power. So, dapat binubukod mo yan. Okay? Ng circuitry. So, still, even if you have a plug on pero ginamit mo rin 2.0 mm square diameter, still, it's lighting. Okay, so the answer to there is, ayan. Ito lang magagawa mo sa master bedroom. Turn on the lampshade. And the rest, the TV, the computer, and that of the shower is on and off mode. Okay, electrical symbols. Hindi naman kayo pa-identifyin ng electrical symbols. Ito pa ang nakakatuwa dito. The symbols here are more American-based or more foreign-based. We have yung ginagamit natin sa mga working drawing, which is taken from Philippine Electrical Code itself. So yun ang gamitin natin. Let's go for the local first before we go international because we have our own symbols. And with that, it's incorporated in your working drawing. So every time nagagawa ka ng working drawing, you always have legends and symbols. Diba? Now, we have here a hospital patient's room where there are some symbols and you only have to count kung ano yung hinihingi niya. Like, how many switches are there? So, ano ba symbol ng switch S? O, hanap tayo, ilan ang S? 1, 2, 3, there are 4. Okay, so the answer is 4. Now, bilang tayo ng duplex reciprocal outlet. Okay, duplex reciprocal outlet, sa bandang kanan na wall, meron tayong dalawa. So, opposite wall meron. So, tatlo. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And then, how many ceiling mounted lights are in the TND? Ito, pag hindi nagbabasa, dami kong na-encounter, sasabihin, 4 ma'am. Okay? 4 ka dyan. Ang binilang lang pala ay nasa kwan. Ang binilang ay nandun sa kwarto. Sinasabi TNB. Diba? Kasi parang basa, how many ceiling mounted lights? Ay, basahin nyo ng gusto. Para hindi kayo malito. TNB, dinadalawa lang yun, oh. Diba? Nasa baba yung TNB. Okay. And from the figure shown above, how many TV outlet? Tingnan natin TV outlet yan. Nakalagay TV. Okay, oh. Yun ba TV itong hospital na to? Yun, oh. Naka-square, nakalagay TV mismo. See? Just one. O, ito rin. Sabing, yung malaman ko, nandolo ko, hindi. Sa sobrang, minsan natatakot ka pa rin sa mga sobrang simple na questions. Parang nandolo ko. Parang may twist. Pero hindi, intindin mo lang. Okay, the outlet for the washing machine is located where? Saan ba? It's the laundry area. Diba? Nandun lang naman eh. Okay. And then, a bulk of electricity generated at the Napo or National Power Corporation is known as generated. Discuss different cables in the compre na pan ko na to, na-indicate ko to. Pero, just a rundown of the cables that were already presented in the board exam. Let's start with number 1. Flexible metal clad armored cable, also known trade name BX. Ganun na kasimple. Huwag na natin complicate na. Then, makikita mo the word sheath. Sheath with an H or sheath. Pareho lang yan. Yung isa pang balot to really protect the cable. So that is known as NMC or non-metallic sheeted cable. Ang gamit naman based on Philippine Electrical Code is the family of the thermoplastic which is the TH, THW, TW, THHL, etc. So, ang pinaprescribe ng law is why use others when it is already prescribed by the law that the thermosetting type of cable would be the thermoplastic family. Okay? MI is mineral insulated, jacketed. So, ito yung mga ginagamit sa computers, sa mga ref, sa mga freezers, sa mga 24/7 na continuous na paggamit na applies like CCTV, like cable TV, dati naka-MI. SNM, shielded non-metallic sheeted cable, is for telecommunications, ginagamit ng mga telecom companies like PLDT. So, if they have to work it out under the sea, na subterranean, iba-iba ang elevation, they only have to go along the elevation from a mainland to an island to serve the landline. So, hindi area, kaya submarine cable. So, added protection space because, tingnan mo, seawater yan. So, pwedeng mag-corrode, pwedeng lumaban. And you have wires there. So, it is gas type, leak type, water type, pressure type. Yun yung tinatawag natin na SNM. So, kung ang pagbabasihan naman natin Meralco na nag-deliver sa atin ng electrical feed, syempre, aerial tayo. So, pag aerial, SE, service entry. Pagka lumalim yan, lahat, everything went underground, that is the underground service entrance. Meron tayong nakikita mga private developer gumagamit ng UST. For example, Port Bonifacio or BGC, entero goes underground para malinis, para walang cabling nagsala sa laba. Pero when you look at our national roads or major roads, talaga makikita mo the presence of area, which is SE. UF, kanina nakita nyo na, direct burial to ground. TCR power and control tray cable is open wire. Kita mo yung mga conduits, nakatray lang siya. Kanina sa cubicle natin, yung modular cubicles, alam natin may mga electrical wiring na nakatago sa mga frame. And kaya nakatago para malinis tingnan, para hindi pangit yung salasalambat na kable. Minsan napaka-chaotic na makita ka ng mga kable. So the only way to manage the cable is by putting on the system furniture and placing the flat cable assemblies or FC, flat cabling. Flat conductor cable is number 10, FCC, which are used for independent circuit detect range, ref, water heater. So the tendency is paghiwalayin mo yung dalawang conductor para hindi magkaroon ng tinatawag na magnetic attraction yung dalawa. Kasi they have to go straight forward yung EMF, yung volt amperes. Pero kung malapit sila, baka magkatawan sila, baka maghigupan sila kasi positive negative. So nilalayo. Kaya nauso yung flat conductor cable na yan. So the gap is important. Okay, that gap is important. Yan yun. Kaya nauso ang flat cabling. And then halimbawa, kung bilog, pinili. So makikita mo ito isang conductor, and you have a nylon inserter there or feeder para hindi sila magkaroon ng magnetic attraction. Yun lang naman po yan. Bus bar and cable bus are closed raceway. Okay? So if you have an open raceway like power control tray cable, meron kang closed raceway, which is not the bus bar and the cable bus. Characteristics of the new BX wire used in the market, dati kasi yung spiral wound yung bumabalot na hardcore cable, nangangalawang ng itim. Ngayon hindi na. So, kung halimbawa, pag ginamit mo naman sa toilet and bath, as yung pinaka armor mo going to the water heater, eh syempre hindi mo maiwasan nagkakaroon ng grime. Ano yung nagkakaitip na? Kasi libag na yun eh, brush mo lang yan, pero watertight siya, hindi siya napapasukan. So that's the advantage. So the characteristic of the new BX is with the presence of stainless steel, armored cable, and liquid tight or watertight din siya. Yeah. Kita nyo, ganito na kasimple. Another term for armored cable is BX or flexible metal clad or metal clad. Another term for underground wiring, o kanina binanggit na natin, so what's that? Sige nga po. Effort naman sa inyo, ito dapat laging binibigay agad. Para makalit ko din ako ng kapil. Di ba yun lang yung purpose? Underground feeder. Yeah, it's an underground wiring, it's an underground feeder. Okay? So in a more contextual approach, can be used as underground service entrance. But underground wiring, underground feeder, baka yun ang talagang hinimet niya. Okay, so kasasabi ko lang, closed raceways would be your busway or cable bus. Yung medyo may pagka, colorblind ako. Purple ba nakikita ko? Ay, sorry. Ala, wait lang. Pagagalitan nyo naman ako dito. Back na ako. Ito. So, characteristic of UBX is, yun. Another term for armored cables, BX, flexible metal clad. Another term for underground wire is underground feeder. At ito, okay, puti lang. Dito na ko ng kulay. I'm looking at the pink. Di ko alam kung bakit. And the inside is blue. So, yung nasa loob, yung tinatawag na bus bar. Pag bilog yung metal mo, it's known as just the bar. Pero pag flat, it's known as bus bar. And then, mas known na siya sa term na bus bar. Hindi ka na sasabi mo, pabili busway, kasi busway is just na lalagyan. So, ang pinaka-importante dito yung kanyang laman, which is the bar, bus bar, chocolate bar, kaya flat. Di ba? Ang chocolate bar is flat. So, bus bar. Kaya enclosed siya. So, yun. Kita yung enclosure. Now, if we look at this one with the louver, kasi sumisingaw yung sobrang init, parang hindi siya magkaroon ng tinatawag na, yung singaw na yun yung tinatawag na re-radiation, nag-iinit. Kasi nakaka-deteriorate ng kable, yung sobrang init. So, nilalagyan siya ng louver for ventilation. It is enclosed, as you can see, pwede siyang mag-curve, pwede siyang bumaba, etc. So, this is now known as your cable bus. Okay? Cable bus. So, enclosed din siya. And then, here in this illustration, pansin nyo lang ha, punta muna ako sa nasa kanan. So, yung nakikita nyo parang mesh wire, kasi ang nilalagay mismo yung feeder na. Pero pag halimbawa, with the conduit, yung tubo, pwede gamitan ito, yung nasa taas. Okay, which is the rail type. Okay? So, rail type, mesh wire type. Yun yun. And then, let's look at the electrical area of a particular building. So, start natin sa transformer. Malinaw pa mata yung transformer starts it all. Transformer bibigyan ng puno, ng EMF, ng voltage. And then, after the transformer, it goes through the electrical room, ginamitan niya ng cable bus. So, nasa electrical room ng switchboard, or switchgear, mas malaki. The switchboard daw will distribute. So, paano siya mag-distribute? Siyempre, pupunta siya sa labas by way of using again cable bus. Ayan, so mga cable bus ang gamit niya. And then, magkakaroon siya ng mga top boxes. So, kung saan siya pupunta mga branches. Now, one of those na finifeed niya would be a generator or genset. And then yung iba, the rest pupunta. So, nakikita niyo meron siyang suspension from the ceiling. Tapos nun, pupunta sa isang malaking cabinet which is now known as the main distribution panel. Nasa baba po, nakikita niyo. I think nakikita sa cursor. So, ito. So, this could be both the lighting and the power. And then, once distributed, you have two options here. Whether I use cable tray, yung open, power control tray cable, or I use a closed one, which is the bus bar. So, in this case, dahil nasa electrical area pa yung cable tray ginamit niya. Kasi away pa sa mga tao eh. And then, nakikita niyo, bumaba siya dun sa may dalawang boxes na magkapatong. But on the upper right, nakita niyo, nakahiwalay. So, one could be lighting, and the other one could be power. Pero yung nanay, nandun sa kanila, yung lighting sa power. Pag distribute niya, kaya minsan, distributed sa building, meron pa nakikita. LP, PP, LPPP, so ganun. Kasi para talagang systematic ang approach. So, this is how you see the components of electrical system or power handling equipment in the building. Okay, so mesh wire type ang nakikita niyo dito. What is a cable tray? Of course, explained already. So, nakita niyo, dito, pinapakita ko is, na ipasok niya as an aesthetic feature ng interior niya, yung cable tray. Kasi C-channel lang yan. So, open siya. Okay, hindi siya bus bar. C-channel lang. So, this is a way of looking at electrical system integrated with the aesthetic part of your building. In this way, malinis tingnan. Okay, so hindi na siya nag-drop ceiling pa. What is the difference between alternating current and direct current? Alternating current is normally associated with what we call electrodynamic, while direct current is what we associate with electrostatic or static electricity. Pagka direct current or electrostatic or static electricity, mababa lang ang voltahe ng mga yan. Pang baterya ba ang labanan? Pagka direct current ka, then, ano mo sinabi ko? Direct current is mababa ha, ang voltahe. Alternating current is mataas ang voltahe. Direct current again is electrostatic or static electricity, baterya nga. Alternating current is dynamic. Dynamo, sabi niya. So, malakas ang potential niya to produce or generate electricity which is used for building. So, if you differentiate the two, okay, bakit fixed ang polarity ni direct current? Bakit nagre-reverse? Kasi kung titignan niyo sa drawing sa baba, it flows negative to positive, negative to positive. So, fixed polarity. Okay, negative to positive. Fixed. Starts with the negative, ends with the positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. So, starts siya sa negative. Now, pag nag-reverse ka, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, and then nag-reverse eh. So, pagdating kay direct current steady, ano bago pa lang ang baterya mo, so continuous yung usage mo ng battery and then mababarat. So, nagbabari in magnitude or nagfluctuate or nagpapulsate na siya. Pag sinabi mo namang varies between reversal, hindi siya nakafix sa 230. Pwede siya mag 210 while reversing. Pwede siya magmataas kung sobrang taas naging surge. Pag sobrang baba naging voltage drop. So, the only way to make this constant para hindi nagbabari masyado sa reversal is to place what? Auto voltage regulator, di ba? Steady ang value ni direct current, hindi siya pwedeng step up, step down. Step up or step down is when you use a transformer for your dynamic electricity, which is the alternating current relative. So, pwede mo siyang pataasin yung 230, pwede tumaas ng 2,300 or 10,000 or 34,500 if you want. Pwede ko rin pababa yung 230 ko ng 115. So, you can step it up or step it down. Easier to measure at 1.5 lang direct current, mas malakas, mas madaling palakasin or easier to amplify ang iyong alternating current. What is used to convert DC to AC? So, it is to say number 25, AC to DC naman. So, if that is the term, DC to AC, then that's the inverter. Okay? DC to AC yan ha. Pag AC to DC, that's your rectifier or rotary converter. So, explanation doon. A rectifier is an electrical device that converts alternating current which periodically reverses direction to direct current which flows in only one direction. The reverse operation is performed by the inverter. The process is known as rectification since it straightens the direction of the current. Clear? So, yun po yun. Okay, so clear ha, balik. DC to AC inverter, AC to DC, rectifier. Resists. Okay, resistance. Friction. Resist the flow. Resist the flow. Ano yun? O, di yung insulator natin. Diba? An ability conductor without overheating or undue heating, yung wire mo, nagka-thermoset. Hindi siya nagkakaroon ng undue heating. That is because you know the size of the wire. You know the capacity of the thermoplastic, so nagka-thermoset na sila. So, hindi siya abnormal. And if that's the case, once na na-compute mo, then you call it ampacity or current carrying capacity of a wire. Okay, different types of switches or outlets. Well, we have lighting outlets. And lighting outlets, yung nasa kisame, is run or controlled by gangs. Tawag natin yung mga switch plates natin. Single gang, two gang, three gang. Convenience outlet, also known as receptacle outlet, is of two types. The duplex convenience outlet or single convenience outlet. Also, the time nakikita natin is the duplex convenience outlet. Single convenience outlet is more for the independent circuitry. And then, kung nakaalsa from the surface, we call it surface mounted. Kung naka-flash, then you call it flash mounted. So, nakikita mo lang yung mismong plate, hindi alsado yung buong katawan. So, in this illustration, for example, ito toggle, di ba? What is that? Flash mounted or surface mounted? Okay, so it is surface mounted. Ay, tama, surface mounted. Sorry. Kasi na-flash ko bigla to. So, ito naman yung three gang. Kikita yung plate lang. So, this is flash mounted. And, what is a three-way switch? Ginagamit natin sa stairway. So, simple lang, -1 ka lang, huwag kang nalilito. Diba, if this is a four-way switch on 3 locations, especially when you are considered long corridors. What is a three-way switch? Switches on 2 locations, one at the bottom, one at the top. So, switches on 2 locations. What is a two-way? One switch. Diba? So, a three-way switch, switches on 2 locations. So, as you look at this diagram, you know what a two-way, what a three-way is. So, hindi niya ginamitan ng, kumbaga, walang illustrations na iba. But this is conceived based on the correct answer. What type of switch will be used if a lighting fixture is to be used in 4 places? Okay? Lighting fixtures to be used in 4 places. So, yung 4 places na yun, yung lugar ng switch. And here, in this illustration, 4 places, I mean, I stand correct, 4 places would be your switch. And it corresponds to what? Look, naglagay siya ng dalawang two-way sa number 1 at saka sa number 4. Dalawang two-way yan. At isa sa gitna, which is a 1 three-way switch. So, you have 4 locations, 4 places for your lighting fixture location of the switches. Kaya letter C yung answer. Okay? Again dalawang two-way, 1 and 4, isang three-way nasa gitna represented by switch 2 and switch 3. Here? Okay. What is wrong with the electrical plan shown at the right? Pangit. Pangit pagkaka-drawing. Pasensya na po. Sino man nag-drawing nito? Arkitekto na nag-drawing nito. So, nakapasa na. Share lang itong drawing niya. Siguro mabilisan. Okay. Do you think there are too many lights? No. Kita mo, bakit isang area, isang nga lang. No switch? Meron. Nothing's wrong? Meron. So, ang answer is, what? Oh, di mo nalaga. Switch is behind the door. So, nakikita yung cloud. Doon po sa taas. Nasa WIC, walk-in closet. Kita nyo, switch is behind the door. Ayun po yan. Okay? Diba? So, dapat switch is beside. Beside, hindi po behind. Iba po yung behind, iba po yung beside. When designing electrical lighting layout for the toilet and bath, where would you locate the switch plate? O katulad din naman ng previous yan. So, hindi nasa labas. Pag nasa labas at may naliligo yan, pwede mong patayin takutin. Si ate, kung ganyan. So, hindi rin behind the door. Beside the door. Okay? What is a utility box? O, alam natin, nasa likod to ng isang convenience outlet at nasa likod din ng ating switch plates. Diba? So, yung ibang boxes, na-discuss natin. So, just to give you an idea, what are the boxes? When you talk of the outlet box, lighting outlet, kaya outlet box. Normally below. So, yung first illustration, yung meron siyang screwdriver here is the outlet box. Talk of the utility box, so balikan tayo yun. And then pull box, ito, facilitates cooling. Yun ang laging word, facilitates cooling. That's the contextual clue, facilitates cooling. Pag ang contextual clue is splicing or join or the shape which is octagonal, that's the junction box. Pag tinanong kayo yung metal box, yung mismong pinaka-housing, metal housing ng iyong fuse box, ng iyong panel board, switch board, mga ganyan, this is known as the cutout box. Okay, so here, so the one illustrated at the upper right is a cutout box, sa baba, pull box, and outlet box naman yung nasa ceiling. Okay? So ito, dalawang version ng illustration, pero it leads to that inside element. Kaya yun, doon nakaturo yung arrow. Pan po yan meron siyang thread. So, panghigpit, we call it bushing. Diba? Panghigpit lang naman yan para hindi makalas yung position ng cabling mo. And in another related illustration, yung nasa loob na naman ang pinakita niya, still, that is bushing. Okay? And then nasa labas. Well, there's an illustration showing the outside part, which is known as the lock nut. Parang washer. So, lock nut and bushing. Yung magka-partner dyan. Okay? O, diba? Usual shape of a junction box. O, di octagonal. Okay? Yun lang naman yan. And what's the circuit breaker? Yung laman, ha? Nasa loob ng panel board, ang circuit breaker. So, it's the electromechanical device. Ang pinakabuhay niya is copper pigtail. Yung copper pigtail commercially known as the solenoid. The solenoid is the one that detects the overloading, the heat. So pagka nakaramdam siya ng excess heat, nag-expand siya, triggering the trip mode ng inyong actuator lever. So kaya siya napupunta sa neutral. So if you look at this number 7, yan yung solenoid which is the copper pigtail. And then once na nag-init it will expand. Pag nag-expand, it releases the trip, pupunta sa neutral. So yun po, yung number 1, the actuator lever goes to the trip mode. So yun ang buhay, kaya safe tayo na naglalagay ng circuit breaker for each circuitry that we have sa bahay. Okay, now for number 38 and the rest, we do not have a plan, but then let's just analyze. Kasi every situation calls for 5 questions. Kaya 5 questions were asked regarding this plan. So may plano and then 5 questions. It's always like that. For every situation, there are 5 questions related to it. So, okay. Now what we did earlier is to count, direct counting. So find the total number. Number lang naman. So magbibilang ka. You have to be very keen sa iyong pagbibilang. Huwag mong daanin sa isang bilangan lang. At baka mamalik mata ka. 40, okay. Sige nga po, how many lighting outlets are there? Bilang. Ilan po? How many lighting outlets are there? So kung natanong lang lighting outlet, edi sige, bilang tayo. Well, it's obvious that in rule of thumb, there are 8 lighting outlets na circuit. So ito, A, nakita nyo yung 4. And then 4 na B. So lahat yan lighting outlets. Okay? Now, choose which lamp in circuit would open simultaneously. If I switch on switch A lang, sa tugang na plate, syempre magbubukas lang lahat ng A. Hindi walang pakialam si B because we are talking of a parallel series na circuitry here. If switch on ko naman si B lang ang mag-iilaw ng 4 na B rito, walang pakialam si A. Clear? So, but they are placed in one circuitry, and the control point is the switch. Yun lang po yun. Now, so, switch A would open 4 simultaneously, switch B would open 4 simultaneously. Given an electrical pan, how many downlights are there in the circuit? Downlight Okay. Ilan ang downlight na nakikita niyo? Okay. A lot of people commit mistakes in this illustration. Thinking yung bilog, yung mismong bilog lang, yun yung downlight. No. Bilog represents a lighting outlet regardless of the fixture, regardless of the luminaire. Butas sa kisame yan. Once nagbutas ka dyan, okay, yung butas does not dictate isa lang ang iyong lighting fixture. Yung butas na yan, indicate halimbawa marami akong ilaw sa chandelier, but that is just one lighting outlet. Nakuha pang ibig sabihin nun? One lighting outlet lang. So, downlight, kanina pa natin sinasabi downlight, pababa. Okay, pin light is pababa. Isa lang simbolo ng pin light dyan eh. Nakikita niyo po ba? Ayun, sa B. Oh, yan ang pin light. Yan ang downlight. Okay, here. So, kung tatanungin ako, balik ko lang. How many downlights are there in circuit 1? Okay, isa. Isa lang po siya. Okay? So, bakit hindi yung... Okay, ano pong simbolo ito? Incandescent yan. Anong simbolo ito? Fluorescent yan. Anong simbolo ito? Lighting outlet yan. Anong simbolo ito? So, dilagyan ko ng ganyan. O, chandelier yan. O, tanggalin natin. Ano natira? Bilog. Tanggalin natin ito. Ano natira? Bilog. Tanggalin natin yung ito. Yung inner circle. Bilog. Tanggalin natin yung sumay. Bilog. So, bilog. Lighting outlet. Okay? Now, you know. Kaya pag gumagawa ka ng work in drawing at hindi pa ako sigurado sa lighting fixtures ko, lalagyan ko ng bilog lighting outlet. Saka na mag-specify niya kung may nagmagandang interior designer. Sabi niya, bigyan mo ako ng na 4 na butas. 4 na butas means na lighting outlet. Hindi yung mismo lighting fixture luminaire. Are you with me? Okay. So, isa lang ha. Only one. O yan, how many lights can be controlled by switch B? So, controlled by switch B lang. O di 4 pa rin. Basta meron kang B. O 4 na B. From the given plan, determine the number of pin lights. Just count, but be careful because there were drawings that look like pin lights, but were not. Okay, tayo, hindi ba nandisip kayo kanina? Kala nyo yung bilog is pin light, pero hindi naman pala. So, yun sinasabi niya. Kaya, we learn from that. Dapat alam niyo yung simbolo ng mga fixtures na to, ng mga luminaires, para hindi mo nasasabi na naglagay ka ng sungay sa site, biglang bumili ng 4 na incandescent. Sabi, ba't ngayon kang bilili ng incandescent? Ayan ang simbolo mo, di ba? So, to make it safe, butas na lang, for indication bilog lang. So, tingnan nyo dito. From the given plan, identify the fluorescent type. O, di alam niyo na. So, kung titingnan nyo, sorry, tingnan naman po tayo. Nakikita nyo, these are the numerous symbols that we use, di ba? O, kung lighting outlet, ayan, o. So, ano yung sabihin ng mga sanga-sanga niya? Minsan yung mga sanga represents yung yung branch circuits. This is a duplex convenience outlet with 2 lines. This is single convenience outlet. This is the lighting outlet. Yung bilog lang. This is pin light. Differentiating it there. Fluorescent, incandescent. Lighting panel is darkened all throughout. Power panel is half diagonal. Okay? Kasi, bakit tingnan nyo? Kasi ang power panel is mag-isa lang sa bahay. So, ibig sabihin, ay meron akong pang ilaw at meron din akong pang power. So, okay na lahat niya. That's the symbol for that. Pero kung talagang dinarken mo lahat, lighting panel lang. Okay? Here. From the given plan, walang plan. Determine the location of outlets. So, we all know that convenience outlets are placed 0.30 from the floor line. And once na nag-switch on ka ng plate, normally that's 1.5. Okay, 1.5. So, eye level mo 1.5. From a given plan, determine the circuit with the most number of outlets. It is always advised that we have 8 lighting outlets in a circuit, also with a duplex convenience outlet. 8 duplex convenience outlet in a circuit. Okay, kanina to, di ba yung short circuit occurs, alam niyo na yung kanina yung sa electric fan. And determine the number of outlets, o direct counting lang tayo. So, yun. Maximum number of outlets for a 15 amp circuit. Well, ideal talagang 8. Can I go 12, 15 if I want to? Well, yes. Pero ang punto doon, lalaki na yung size ng wire mo. 8 is good for 2.0 mm square diameter. That's for the 8. If you go 15 or 12, okay, taasan mo yung diameter. Gawin mo na siyang 3.5 mm square diameter, which is the size that is used for power. Okay. And recommended number of lighting fixtures to use. So, recommendation natin based on Philippine Electrical Code is 8 lighting outlets in a circuit. And this is a circuit. So, alam natin pag pundido isa, pundido na rin iba. Not because sira, pero walang continuity, nagkaroon ng gap. So, having the gap, ang answer natin ngayon dito is, there will be no light at all. Okay, because of that gap. hindi nagkaroon ng continuity. So we have now what we call an open circuitry. Pagka nabuo, closed circuitry ang tawag doon. Bibilang na naman tayo, mga sir, madam. So bilang po tayo ng lighting fixtures here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sino yung po paano magbilang ganun? Okay. Pag di ako nalito, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay, 18 yan. Switch used in CR2. Yung CR2, nakita nyo SAV. Ang litit. Dito, SAV. So that's a tuga. Pero mo siyang heater. I don't see this line. So comparing the line of cold water line, alam natin ganito. This is a cold water line. Alam natin pagka ganito, dalawa, that's a hot water line. Alam natin pag nakita tayo ng dash, ganyan lang, well, that's a vent. So I don't see this. And therefore, there's no heater for the lavatory. Bikin sa mata natin. Okay. Which does not need an individual branch circuit. So, range, pump, aircon, mga independent circuit, yung mga microwave, kaya nga microwave. It is running through a radioactive electricity type. Kaya nga sabi nila, masama raw sa kalusugan kasi radioactive microwave. So, ayun. Hindi niya kailangan independent. Mahina lang ang konsumo niya. Bakit sinasabi, malakas ang konsumo, panay-panay eh. Kunti segundo, painit na naman. So, lagi mo nagagamit yung microwave. Which of the following consumes this electricity? Anything that is electronically or priority yung electronics, bumababa yung kanyang EMF. So, if you take your laptop ay running 230, it is running through a battery. Okay? Kung hindi mo kinakabit sa pan, diba? Kung hindi mo kinakabit sa circuitry, kasi pang charging mo lang naman. If you're seeing that square or rectangle, ang pumasok sa source natin is 230. Pagdating dito parang balas, so nakita nyo lumit na yung diameter ng wire, so that's 115. Kasi kung recta mong 230 ang laptop mo, masusunog yung mga integrated circuit niya, yung IC chips niya. So, it is running by battery, it's running by electricity, by charging lang naman, because pan lang naman to, para magkaroon ng charge yung kanyang pinaka-source ng energy. Well, it is obvious. Ano yung answer? Okay, at 0.09 kWh per hour, your computer consumes the least energy of any of these 4 appliances. Okay, ito, independent to. What is the ampacity of a multi-point heater? Alam natin kung independent circuit, it is running at what? 30 na yan. Diba? Your light is 15, your convenience outlet power, the independent is 20, this is 30. Okay, the heater shown at the right works with, may electricity siya, which is 1. May water siya, which is 2. At may pressure na kailangan, which is 4. So that is on B, 1, 2, and 4. Okay? What are electrodes? Electrodes, electrolyte, electron, okay? So pag halimbawa, gusto mong magkaroon ng kuryente, kumaga ng kuryente yung baterya, it has the carbon flat collector sa gitna, na dinidip mo sa electrochemical, tubig yun na may chemical na nagpo-produce electricity, sinisip-sip niya, nagpopolarize siya, so yun yung electrolysis or electrolyte. Okay? Now, so, an electrode is a metal which serves as the location where oxidation reduction equilibrium is established. Masyadong technical. So, ang sinasabi lang naman is electrode, kasi nung ginamit sa for example, it pertains to electrons. Anode, cathode, mga ganyan. Okay? So, just to give you an idea, yan, anode, cathode. So, electrodes works more for the anode, so negative. Okay? Kaya hindi ba, pagka halimbawa, okay, on a medical term, pagka ang tao nagkaroon ng diarrhea, syempre nalwalan siya ng bodily fluid, ano pinapanom sa kanya, di ba electrolyte? Kasi, mas nanghina yung electrode part niya. Kaya pinapain siya para magbalanse yung dalawa. Flat silicon, yung palang silicon nakita ko dyan, tapos nun convert solar pa, alam mo na. So, solar panel is working on photovoltaic. Diba, photovoltaic. Sige na, kahit na ng pronunciation, basta nagkaintindihan tayo. Okay, so these are the solar panels. Okay? And, okay, nabanggit ko kanina to, computational transmission loss factor. From Napocore, which goes to the transmission line, that goes to the Meralco post, which goes to the consumer, isa sa mga binabayaran natin, hindi lang yung konsumo ng kuryente, the actual consumption, but also the transmission loss, yung energy that transferred from one post to the other hanggang sa mapunta sa household. So, yun yung, nakita nyo, energy is lost due to electrical resistance, and the losses are approximately 10% of the total electricity transported between power stations and the market customers. Kaya yung nasa babang ko pa, ay, naman po tayo, may problema na naman po, yung kwan, okay, backward. Ano po ang, okay, alam ko, nagbilang tayo dito, saan dito, microwave, computer, 30 amps, 1, 2, and 4. Electrons, ito po, yung anode is negative. Flat silicon is this one. Okay, and there. So, 10% of the total electricity transported between power stations and market customers. Sa baba, the loss factor takes into account the loss of energy as electricity flows to the network. So, kinakaga sa atin yan. At almost 10%. That's the maximum. Okay? Hindi mo kayo pinapa-compute na ito. At least you know what the transmission loss factor is. Okay, every time that you see the smooth transition, it talks of the automatic transfer switch. That's the keyword. That's the contextual clue. Kung natin yung iba. Power outages, emergency power backup generator, smooth transition. Yan. So that is the, APS. And then, what is the main reason why cable wires and grounding wires are shielded, nilalagyan ng balot? Kasi pagka hindi mo nilagyan ng balot, one metal to the other, positive, negative, magnet. Okay? So it causes magnet. So para hindi magkaroon ng magnetism, which can cause what? Short circuit. And, wire telephone wires and electric wire will not place together kasi the telephone being electronic is working on 115. Nakahawak na ba kayo ng 115? May gulat pero hindi ka matay. 230 ka matay. Huwag yun ang i-bear. Huwag gawin sa bahay, hindi pa yung matikong ganyan. So, once na 115 saka 230, hihigupin yung 230 115. Kaya, as much as possible, nasubok nyo na ba yun? Di ba nilalapit nyo ang telephone nyo sa cellphone nyo sa isang electrical na 230? Nagkakaroon ng hazy effect. So, naglalabanan yung magnet. And the magnet now causes what we call intermittent or data interference. Okay? Kaya pagka ganyan, sa for example isipin mo nag-shift ka para, okay, ito ang floor to ceiling. Floor to ceiling. Sa floor, naglagay ka, raised floor system. Nandiyan yung computer cables mo, running at mga 115. Sa kisame, so ito yung floor. Sa kisame, dito mo nilagay electrical wires mo. So, ba't hindi mo pinagsasama? Kasi nga po magkakaroon ng data interference. So, yun yung ibig sabihin niya. Okay, shift. Main reasons why insulators deteriorate, as I've said, heat is one. Okay? So, undue heating of wires or overload. Some of the main reasons for insulation failure include natural deterioration due to aging, accelerated excessive heat, and moisture. Heat, moisture, and dirt are main causes of insulation failure. So, yun po. Minsan, di ba yung pag hindi maganda yung insulation mo, ito yung nanglalagkit o kaya nagurukok. Okay, yun po yun. So, ito may mga answers naman kayo. Binigyan ko na ng illustration. Safety device for computers is the auto voltage regulator para maging constant nga yung bato ng EMF or electromotive force. ATM uses UPS, uninterruptible power supply. Depende sa laki or depende sa dami. Kasi minsan, sinasabi lang, this is yung pinaka-primary component. Pero kung maramihan na yung mga ATM, ginagamitan nila ng ATS. Pero dito, simpler ko lang naman, circuitry, UPS. And there, kita niyo yung spot transition na naman sinasabi, that's the ATS. Oh, yun na naman, spot transition, ATS. And it was suddenly disrupted, but was immediately restored. Ano naka-restore? The backup, which is now ATS. Okay? Provide temporary electrical power if the utility source fails. At ano nakikita nyo? Sa kanan. Ano yung tsura? Nakakita na ba yung na ganyan? O yan po yung nakabit para dyan mag-shoot yung kuryente to back up your system and you're looking at ATS. Okay. And then, ayun na. ME to E, E to M. Okay na dito sa ganyan na. So this is ME to E to EE. So mechanical energy, gagalaw muna yung mechanical parts to produce electricity. Ganun naman yung explanation yan. Hindi gawa niya ng generator. O the other way around. Ignite mo yung battery electricity yun para gumalaw yung mechanical parts. Motor yun, like your vehicle. How do generators work? Induced, induction, electromotive induction. Okay, generators you place inside the building, so magbabibrate yan. Ano raw ang pwede mong ilagay para hindi magvibrate, which can cause structural weakness sa inyong building? O di, sige, lagyan mo yan. May yung pad under the generator set. Okay? So, what is a NEMA wall? NEMA stands for the abbreviation National Electrification Manufacturers Association. So, ito yung mga cabinet or metal cabinets that they use for outdoor application. May snow, may rain, may mga kung anong mga elements dyan. Silyado yung loob, so hindi siya masisira. So, enclosure rated for protection against environmentalism hazards like dust, water, oil, or coolant. So, outdoor applications. Okay? You can see right away kung ito ay NEMA wall because of the gaskets, the presence of the gasket. Okay? If you're to locate a large office space using numerous cables, aside from the size of the new location, what should you know? I did mention that earlier. So, let's say for a PABX, you need to know first, kasya ba? So, you need to measure the floor to ceiling height. Kasi pwede kang mag-drop ceiling for electrical, mag-raise floor ceiling ka para sa iyong cable, ano magtitira sa'yo? So, baka mapunggo. Kaya dapat, you should know the floor to floor height. Okay, alam na natin the raised floor system. So, also known as access floors. Elevated structure floor. Diba? Next. Okay, may answer na. When choosing an office on a high-rise building, what should you consider? Location of place, which is place sa ilalim ng floor or raised floor system niya. Ito, paulit-ulit to. Most rigid. RSC, rigid steel conduit. Yun yung rigidity niya. Matibay. Kaya ginagamit siya for feeders. Okay. Much thinner daw, pero threaded. Much thinner, pero threaded is IMT or IMC. Intermediate metal tubing or intermediate metal conduit. Threaded yung mga yan Okay, for service entrance, RSC. Ulit, letter D, rigid steel conduit. And study circuit load, demand load, electrical load, panel loads, study schedule of loads. This is when you see a very standard schedule of loads that you must follow because this is already tested. Huwag yun ang ibahin. Kaya nga ako, hindi ako nagbabago sa 8 as much as possible. So, given the geometry circuit number, ito sinasabi ko din, nagsisimula sa lighting, sa power, and then sa independent. Okay, simple circuit lang tayo. Ilan ang lighting outlet mo? 8. Switches does not mean kung 8 ang lighting outlet mo, 8 din ang switch mo. We're talking of the plates here. Okay? 230 ultra-octane volts na binibigay ng power utility company. And then, the rated wattage is seen on the table. So, for example, if I have one lighting outlet, it is rated 100 watts per lighting outlet. So, do the math. 8 times 100, 800. So, if I have power, then that is 180. 180 per plate, not per plug. 180. 180 times 8 gives you 1440. So, dalawa ang kanyang circuit for convenience outlet. Kaya pala yung 1440. And then, this is the range. At 2 electric range plates, yung pinaka-burner niya, is at 1,800. If this is 4 burner, that's 3,600. So, kita nyo, independent siya. Wala siyang kasama. Mag-isa lang. 1,800. How do you know the amps? Simple lang. 800 divided by 230 is 3.48. 1440 divided by 236.27, same lang sa 3. 1,800 divided by 237.83. And it goes to say, sa walo na lighting outlets mo, ayun na, yung size niya, 2.0. I maintain the 2.0 is prescribed by the law. So, 2.0, 2 wires, 2.0 millimeter square diameter. How would I know if I use TH, THW? Depending on the location. TH is normally for dry location. TW is for wet location. THW is, for example, kitchen, where there are wet location at the same time there are heat appliances involved. So, THW yung gagamitin ko. If I go for laundry, I go TW. If I go for toilet and bath, I go TW. If I go for a convenience outlet place at my carport, then I go TLW. If I go weatherproof outlet, I go TW. Ganun lang naman, napakasimple po. So, for every lighting of 8, the prescribed is 2.0. For every convenience outlet at 8, 3.5. 3.5 na naman. For every independent circuit, talagang 5.5 na. Standard is 5.0 but nominal is 5.5. Wala kang mabibiling 5.0. It's always the 5.5. And if you have the spare, then that's automatic at 8.0. Wala kang ginawang computation. Just follow through the law. Okay? And kanina sinasabi na, pag ilaw 15, pag power 20. O di sinusunod ko na kung yung prescription ng ampere protection and the range can be 25 to 30 depending on my range. Kasi 2 burner lang ginamit ko, so 25 to 4 burners siguro ito, gagawin ko 30 yan. And spare is also 30. So, basically, you just follow scheduling, follow Philippine Electrical Code. Hindi kayo mawawala eh. Yan lang eh, kasi ang nominal size ng wires mo, 2, 3.5, 5.5, 8.0, wala namang in between. From 2, it jumps at 3.5, from 3.5, it jumps at 5.5, walang in between. So makikita mo na yung size ng wire is dependent on the functionality of your circuitry or description. Clear? Okay, docs. Gusto ko muna. Dalawa tayo. Set up slideshow. Yes, okay. And F5. Okay, I know na. So, hindi na papatay. Ay, my God, hindi to. Sorry po. Okay na nga. Okay. Ayun niya talaga. Ayun yung pumapatong. Wait lang po. Okay, docs. Hindi naman po. Okay. So, HVAC naman tayo. For the HVAC, yeah, first, odorless and colorless gas present in air. O, sa mga nagbe-vape dyan. O, alam niyo na, that odorless and colorless. Actually, hindi siya odorless eh, kung may flavor. Sa totoo lang, I was a smoker before and I quit smoking. Good for me. But right now, whenever a person is smoking nearby, napaka-sensitive ko sa amoy, especially mga vape. Hindi ko gusto yung amoy ng vape. Anyway, pasensya na po sa mga nagbe-vape sa inyo. So, this colorless and odorless, kasi nilalagyan ng flavor, so hindi naman odorless, is the water vapor. Okay? Now, ang aircon nagtutulungan. So, once nagtuluyan, yung tinatawag na moisture niya, which is the saturation point, which is 100%. So, with that, ang sabi sa kanya is saturated. Okay. So, number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, nilagay ko na lang po sa isang slide kasi mga ko lang naman to. Wala naman siyang multiple choice. Study aircon daw, its elements. What is evaporation air conditioning system? What is condensation air conditioning system? Parts of air conditioner. How's freon used in an air conditioning system? Discuss its flow in the system. I don't know how they did it in multiple choice, but okay, let's do it this way. Ito po yun. So, the evaporation is the generic term of the indoor unit, which is now the AHU, or the air handling unit is free type, or evaporator in a generic sense. It has these components. Sa kanya, nakalagay ang evaporator coil, which is known as the discharge line. So I'm doing also the parts of air conditioning, which is number 6. And the blower. Sa condensation, which is the outside unit. Okay? Also known in split type as ACC or air condensing unit. Condenser is the generic name. Sa kanya nakikita ang condensing coil, which is the liquid line, the fan, the compressor, the expansion valve. So basically, when you look at number 6, ito po yung dalawa. So evaporation consists of these parts and condensation consists of these parts. And then, how's freon used in air conditioning system? Discuss its flow. Okay, let's see this illustration. In this illustration, you can see right away the parts. So, let's go back to evaporation. Inside part. Yung kulay blue, talaga evaporator. So, evaporator coil yan. Tapos doon, also known as the discharge line, nagdi-discharge ng lamig. Nasa kanya yung blower. Ito po yun. Okay, see? Blower nakalagay. And then, pagka, halimbawa, pumunta sa labas na parte. Sa labas na parte, you have the condenser, which is the condenser coil, which is the red. Ito po yung red. The red contains the freon, which is liquid. Yun, liquid pa yun, liquid pa ang freon, kaya liquid line. Kasi pag umabot na sa discharge line, gas na siya. Okay, and meron siyang fan. And this is the compressor where the expansion valve is. So, how does freon work from liquid freon to gaseous freon? Paano nangyari? So, once na pinandar mo ang aircon, the first thing na gagawin mo is nasa fan mo na siya para mag-ligo dun yung dalawa. So, looking at the principle of electric fan or exhaust fan, pag nakaharap sa electric fan, nandun yung blower. Pagka ito ngayon sa likod, once nagpunta ka sa likod, walang hangin dyan. Diba? So, positive, negative. Ngayon, habang pinapaandar mo, prep mo na yung kwarto para maghigop siya, mag-exhaust muna, kasi nasa fan pa lang naman. In-exhaust yung hot air, nag-stale sa kisame. So, habang siya napapalabas, dumadaan yung hot air dun sa red na coil, which is now the condensing coil. Nararamdaman dung red coil, yung condensing coil, yung init. So may liquid siya. So pag nadadaanan siya ng init, ano nangyayari sa liquid? Mag-evaporate yan, magta-turn sa gas, liquid to gas state. So pagka nagta-turn na siya sa gas, kasi inaakyat mo na sa fan, sa low cool, sa high cool. Bibilis na yung liquid doon. So mas dumadatas na yung higop niya ng init. Okay? Mas nagiging gas na yung liquid dun sa liquid line dun sa condensing coil and therefore becomes full gas freon. Gaseous freon. So pag naging gaseous freon, kukunin na compressor, pipit-pitin niya, papapasukin niya sa blue na coil. At blower. Kaya pag na-blower, nararamdaman natin lamig. So once nagpatay ka ulit ng aircon, yung gaseous freon babalik sa pagka-liquid kasi hindi mo ginagamit eh. So the cycle continues and that is what we call the refrigeration cycle. That's how freon works. So to cut it short, from liquid freon, which is nasa liquid line, to gaseous freon, which is now sa discharge line. Okay? Clear? From the liquid line, liquid freon, to the gaseous, which is gaseous freon. Pag naging gas, saka siya lumalamig. And now being blown by a blower. Clear? Okay. So yun lang po yun. Paano kaya may multiple choice ang hinayupak na yun? Okay. Hindi ko alam. Basta yun ang explanation. Okay. So the pipe that leads to condenser from the compressor. Galing na sa compressor. O, di ba discharge line? Diba? O, balik. From the compressor, o di discharge line. Okay? From the compressor to the condenser. Okay? Amount of liquid unit required for proper operation. Kaya proper operation, hindi mo binibigla. Fan, low cool, high cool, turbo cool, minsan super cool yung iba. So you are operating, you are charging it. O, di alam yun yung answer, operating charge. And then, Isa pang dahil kakamali dito eh. A device used to determine the air temperature of a room. When we talk of the room temperature, we talk of the index temperature, yung surrounding or environment temperature. So nagamit natin, lang ang thermostat. Thermostat nasa aircon. Thermometer ang gamitin natin. Ibang temperatura ngayon, tingnan mo sa thermostat. Wow. Di ba? No. Thermometer. A component of an HVAC system used to sense and control air temperature to that. Kinokontrol mo na, ano yun? O di thermostat yun. Ayan o. Whether knob type ka pa, or dependent na lang. As sa'yo, remote control. Gusto mo. Thermostat yan. So ang default niya, pag ino-on mo, depende. May mga aircon na 16 or 17 or 18. Tapos noon, pag giniginaw ka, edi akit mo, gawin mo siyang 24, beyond 24, kasi meron kayong tinatawag na comfortable or thermal comfort, yung range is from 18 to 24. Okay, 18 to 24. Yung hindi ka pinagpapawisan, as in talagang pawis, hindi ka naman sobrang nag-chill or giniginaw. So, 18 to 24, based on National Building Code of the Philippines yan. Okay. So, set point, ano yung set point? Default. As I said, pagbubukas mo pala ng aircon mo, nag-70 siya, that's the set point. So, that is the work also of the thermostat. So, most air conditioners control by thermostat, which senses temperature, what is used by the humidifiers to sense humidity. So, ito naman, ang mini-measure niya ay yung moisture level. Kasi di ba, on a rainy day at nag-aircon ka pa, nararamdaman yung dampness ng surface. Minsan, to the point na talagang nagbibigay pa siya ng mist. So, yun yung moisture na sinasabi, humidity yun. So, how do you measure that? You measure that by the use of, ayun yung pangalan, humidistat, hygrostat, di ba? Ayan o, hygrostat, humidistat. So, just looking at this, tignan nyo, percentage ang humidity. Centigrade yung isa. So, nilagay niya sa between 20 and 25, halimbawa 24. And yung kailangan na humidity is from 50 to 60. So, kita nyo, nasa 60 siya. So, compatible. So, hindi ito yung mapapansin mo nagtutuloy yung aircon mo hanggang sa loob na naglalagay ka pa ng timba. Ay, hindi tama yun. Okay? Kung mali sa refrigerant, so napakabilis ng sabing Freon. But Freon is a DuPont branding yun. DuPont branding. It is known scientifically as chlorofluorocarbon or CFC. Okay? Device used to increase the pressure. Diba? Increase mo yung pressure. Talaga pag pinispit mo lahat ng gas spray pupunta sa evaporator coil. So, ano yun? O di compressor. And simple lang to. You're not to compute. Tons of refrigeration or TR. 1 ton is equivalent to 12,000 British thermal unit BTU per hour. So, yun yun. 1 ton of refrigeration is equal to 3024 kilocalories per hour. It is known as 12,000 BTU per hour divided by 2.204 pounds per tingnan yung dugo na. Hindi yan ang RT. Ang sinasabi lang doon, ang tanong lang naman dito, ilang BTU nasa isang ton? Eh di yung nasagutin mo, 12,000 BTU. Okay. So ito naman, hindi mo kailangan talaga ng computation. There's a table for this. However, hindi ko na-incorporate. Nakurap yung file ko and hindi ako makahanap ngayon ng table na yun. So I beg your indulgence. Average, yung sinabi niya. Average tons of refrigeration requirement for a convenience store. If you see a convenience store, tatlo yung tonners na nilalagay niya sa labas, 2 to 3 tonners. So 110 by 10 square meter is involving 2 to 3 tonners or tigwa 1 tonner sa labas. And parameter for a room that is exposed to normal conditions would be 10 to 12 square meters per tons of refrigeration. Is a table again, okay? So water cassette, so pag hindi pa kayo nakakita ng cassette, nasa ceiling yan instead of a wall. What's the advantage of having it sa wall para hindi maka-accumulate ng space? So as you look at this, yung nakikita yung condenser, you can see that there are 2 to 3 tonners there for this area which is assumed at 100 square meters. So there is the averaging, okay? And kita nyo, bawat tonner dito is on its own or nakalink sa zone. So hindi pwedeng sabihin mo isa lang yung tonner kasi it serves a particular area kasi hinahabol yung 3 meters total developed like a copper tubing. So, kailangan lang, as an architect, abangan mo ng lugar yung mga tonners mo. Dapat, when you were doing your work in drawing, you have foreseen that there's a need for a ledge, there's a need for a balcony, there's a need for a deck, or I can place my tonners. Okay? And then, you also foresee that I'm going to have a drop ceiling because with a drop ceiling, I'm going to flash yung aking cassette. So, nice clean look can be installed in any recessing space. Yung iba naman, napakadiring. Talagang in-expose nila, nakikita yung box. Yung box, yung VAV box na nasa top post. Kasi ang nakikita mo lang yung flash surface. So, hindi mo nakikita yung box. Iba, hindi gamitan ng so systematic. Alright, bahala ka. Depende sa aesthetic perception or yung visual perception mo nang naka-expose ng mga ganyan. Kaya iba, napapansin nyo dahil na-expose. Lahat ng pipings, lahat, pati yung kisame, yung dinadarken nila. Iba, napapansin nyo yan. Kulit. So, ceiling na to. Okay, this is taken from National Building Code of the Philippines. On that part, it says there, 8.12, refrigerant piping crossing a passageway in any building should not be less than 2.3 meters above the floor. So, number 21 and 22, numbers 21 and 22, pareho lang naman sinasabi. Minimum clearance from floor, minimum height is 2.3. AHU, the inside unit, of course. Fan coil unit, evaporator, refrigerant. Okay. So, alam niyo na evaporator being the inside, the refrigerant being the CFC. What is the fan coil unit? Okay, as I've said, katulong ng AHU, booster ng AHU. So, if you look at this illustration, okay, halimbawa, coming from an AHU unit, siya yung humigop ng cool air from the chiller. Tapos, ang ibubuga niya, lumayo. Nung lumayo, medyo pupugak-pugak yung hangin, medyo hilaw. So, tutulungan itong na to ng fan coil unit para ma-discharge niya yung dami going to that ceiling register na ginagamit sa mga centralized air conditioning. So, it's a booster talaga. Fan coil unit is an appurtenance to AHU. O, diba? Keyword mo lang dito, outside the house. So, you know already that is condenser. Napapansin nyo, nahuhuli nyo na, napapabilis yung discussion natin because naging repetitive din. The unit that goes sa compressor, refrigerant, liquid, di ba condensing unit yun? O, yun yun. Okay? Ano naman yung isa? Evaporating. Di ba? Condensing naman to. Best location of condenser. O, di ba? If you have a split type. What? O, di, ilapit mo sa AHU. Minsan magugulat ka sa mga multiple choice, pero pag inanalyze mo, yun lang pala yun. O, limitation, as I've said. Letter A, its use should not exceed 3 meters from the condenser to the evaporator, like what we are seeing here. Simple connection between indoor and outdoor unit. Okay? From the given plan of a clinic, where's the air curtain? It's located at C. O, violent reaction, di ba? Ibig ko sabihin, nandun siya sa B sa door, pero sili nasa C. Sa multiple choice, baka namang sili ng C, tapos sili ng ang nilagay mo doon sa shading mo. Yun yung nakakalito, hindi letter corresponding eh. So be careful on that. Marami nangyayaring pagkakamali ganyan. Ang sakit, di ba? Kasi, ay B. O, di ang utak mo B, ay sinid mo B. Eh, hanapin mo nasin yung B. Nasa C. Okay? So, C, B, nasa door. What is the main advantage of centralized aircon? A centralized aircon, once na nag-default sa 17, hindi mo na kontrolado. Katulad nga nung, okay, pasensya na, kwentong pinagdadaanan. We were in the hospital, December 1, it's already madaling araw, it's ang sobrang lamig sa hospital. That nanginginig ka na, you're already chilling because you cannot control the temperature, it's centralized. Okay? So, ikaw yung mag-a-adapt. Eh, kung wala kang jacket, talagang manginginig kayo, kukuha, nanginginig na. So, what's the answer here? Room temperature can be controlled. Can't be controlled because of the constant air volume principle of centralized air conditioning. Pero kung ito mo discrete, may thermostat catch, the VAB or the variable air volume na pwede mo kontrolin. That's the opposite. Best ever, sabi ko lang, oh. Eh, kasi they want a lower temperature which is equal to every parts so that they can maintain yung tinatawag na integrity ng halimbawa mga products, pharmacy, sa operating, walang sobrang init, sobrang lamig. So they want uniform. Siyempre yung mga tao doon nasanay na ng ganun eh. But once you get adapted to a very cool environment, ano ba kwento na? So nasanay ka sa isang face-to-face, sa isang school and teaching, and every day, you are with an air conditioning system. So na-adapt yung katawan mo. So nag-work from home ka, electric fan, makampawis mo. So once na pinapapunta kami ngayon sa school, we are required once in a while to report physically, and you are subjected to an aircon for sabihin mo na 1 hour, iba eh. So yung adaptability mo, ang pinag-uusapan dito. So just to maintain, kasi pagka mababa ang temperatura mo, nagiging dormant ang germ, hindi siya active, natutulog din, nahihili, nag-hibernate yung mga germs. Pero pagka mataas ang temperatura, nag-active siya. Okay? But, wow, hindi ba? Well, COVID runs in cool environment na may moisture pa, kasi droplets siya. Pero kung dry, medyo hirap siya kasi mag-drop kagad yung virus eh. Pero ang nakakasama, pagka halimbawa, wala kang mga HEPA filters or nagre-recirculate hindi tama yung aircon mo, so pwedeng matransport niya. Okay? I won't dwell much on that. Okay, 32 and 33 is the same because it talks about the cooling tower. Cooling tower is an appurtenance of your centralized air conditioning which is placed at the rooftop. And siya yung humihigop ng lahat ng init coming from a building para mapabilis ang paglamig ng building para hindi hirap ang aircon mo. So it is a heat removal device placed at the rooftop. Okay? So located at the top structure, heat from what is rejected. Cooling tower. So ito ang tune ng cooling tower sa roof deck. And this is how I explain. Okay, let's see a centralized air conditioning like this. So sa basement yan nilagay yung chiller. The chiller is inside the mechanical room. Okay? May kwarto. The cooling tower is placed on top. Now, this is how it works. Remember that your chiller has a liquid freon na kailangan niya ng hangin para siya mag-evaporate. So, kung nasa basement ka, no way ka makakuha ng hangin. The only way that you will get hangin is from the outside. So, yung high pressure air coming from the cooling tower, siya yung nagsasak. So, in out yan, in out, in out. Siya yung kumukuha ng hangin at siya yung nagpapa-evaporate or nagpapa-gas state dun sa freon or CFC sa chiller mo. Once na nagkaroon siya ng gas, kukunin siya ng AHU room, nandun ng AHU, bawat floor. So, nakikita yung AHU bawat floor, di ba? Yan. So, higop siya ng lamig. So, bawat higop niya ng lamig is distributed through ducts. Okay, mga ducts. So yung sinasabi nga natin, pag dumayo, kailangan niya ng FCU. Now, pag higop ng AHU ng malamig na hangin from the chiller at pinunta niya sa duct, pupunta yan sa kwarto, let's look at the uppermost kwarto, pupunta yan sa kwarto, lulusot yan sa ceiling register, alam mo yung square na palit. So nagbubuga siya ng damit. Ang tao, by nature, meron din siyang init. Buhay siya eh. So kahit na nagiginaw siya, meron siyang heat na ini-exit sa kanyang katawan. Saan napupunta yung heat na nanggagaling sa katawan niya? Pumupunta sa wall register, yung mga strip na nasa wall. Nakikita niyo po yung wall register. So in ang hangin, cool sa ceiling register. Out ang hangin na hot dun sa wall register. So lahat ng hot na yan pupunta sa plenum at yan ay hihigupin ng cooling tower palabas kaya heat removal device. Okay? So that's the essence of having the cooling tower. Now, let's go to another side here. Kitchen. Lima may centralized kitchen dito sa building na to. So lahat ng hot air niya, smoke, is taken in by the hood. And then even if you have the comfort room which is now using a ceiling exhaust fan, lahat yan sasama sa pleno at pupunta sa puso lalabas din. So if you see, for example, sa mga roof deck na mayroong mga ganito. Yung mga iba't ibang ganyan. O, alam nyo na this. So dyan, lalabas yung mga hot air. Okay? Ay, sorry. Yan. So, normal nakakita ka ng ganito sa mga roof deck natin. Okay? So yung iba naman, okay, ayan, katulad ng flue. Ayan. So, yan yung galing sa mga kitchen. So, whether tinurb mo or dinireksyon mo lang, parang chimney stack ang datingan. So, this is where hot air is exhausted. Okay? Best location for AC cooling tower, of course, is roof deck. You will show on the plan and as to identify what type of air conditioning was used. So, wala naman tayong plan. So, inassume ko na lang, magawa mismo ka ng ganito. Kasi ba nakakita ka, drawing and then plan symbol, drawing and then plan symbol again. The fact nakita mo na double line yung ginamit dito is saying that it is ducted. And that butas with the X shows that that is where you place the ceiling register. So, that is most likely to be centralized. On the one hand, nasa kanan mo, you see may butas nilagay for the cassette and just a single line which represents the tubing, which is the copper tubing. So, it goes to say na gumamit siya ng strip type. So, limbawa, ginamit ko to, yung nasa kaliwa. Therefore, the type of air conditioning that I use is centralized. Okay? And then, which of the following will be used in a small kitchen and T&D? Alam niyo na, exhaust fan. This. The one at the right is a dehumidifier. Okay? So, tinatanggal niya yung excess moisture kung sobrang exhaust. But this one, hindi lang odor or smoke ang kinukuha ng exhaust fan mo. Okay? Naran equipment, obvious ba? Soap dispenser. Need an individual circuit. Okay, microwave, mababa yan. Evaporative air conditioner, yun yung nilalagyan mo ng tubig na para siyang aircon, nag-aircon yung lamig kasi because may tubig. So, one that needs individual circuitry is of course air conditioner. What is EEF? EER mean, ER. So, nagyan naman, energy efficiency ratio ibig sabihin, and the one underlined is the principle info. Air conditioner ER rating is higher than 10 because it is most cost effective. The higher ratio, the less the unit will cost to operate. So, pagka bumibili ka ng aircon, tinitingnan mo, mas mataas ang numero, mas maganda yan, mas hindi na kumukonsumo ng kuryente. So now you purchase an air conditioner local store, not sa yellow rectangular tag or sticker attached dun sa harap. Yung tinitingnan mo kagad yung numero eh. So, kung nakita mo 3 digits, medyo may lamang yan. Kung nakita mo 2, huwag lang bumaba sa 10. Okay? So energy efficiency. Now what does those big bold numbers stand for? The big bold numbers stands for their EEF or energy efficiency factor, which is the 198. Now, it says there, higher EEF means lower operating cost. Kung tutusin, halos pareho naman talaga ang EER sa EEF. Kaya lang nga, syempre, if this is commercially placed and hindi nila maintindihan yung ratio, factor ang mas naintindihan. So, factor ang nilalagay EEF. So, again higher EEF means lower operating cost. And in purchasing, which would you prefer? Diba? Sinabi na may ratio eh. Balik ko ba? Higher EMF means lower operating cost. Balik ko ba? Higher the ratio, the less the unit will cost. EER rating is higher than 10. Consider mas cost effective. So, obvious pa yung answer. So, the higher the ratio, the better. Okay? Allows heat to be circulated throughout the building. So, heat naman ito. Ito ay siyempre ginagamit sa may mga winter, may mga snow. Hindi, wala tayong ganyan. Mainam na. Alam nyo, tayo, we wish for winter wonderland. Pero pagdating sa ibang bansa, they hate winter. They get psychologically affected by the gloominess of the winter. Kasi lagi lang silang indoor. So pag nasa indoor sila na inipalsal, lagi sila nalalockdown. And pag kinarir mo namang lumabas, Diyos ko, winter tires, tapos kikis-kisin mo yung mga yelo na namuo doon sa iyong vehicle, maglinis ka ng driveway mo, pagpuputik, mag-yelo, madududas ka, mag-i-skid ang kotse mo, yun. Oh, why am I saying this? Because yun ang experience ng aking mga kaanak sa Canada. They are in Calgary and they also complain of the snow or the winter. Kaya pag nag-summer, ay nakutunto ang mga tao pa nagwawala. Okay, so this is your centralized heating. And instead of AH yung gamit na term, it becomes furnace. Okay, okay, so illustration na tayo. So, natag naman eh, these are very familiar illustration to you. So, object A is what? Where is it placed? E di roof deck kasi solar water heater yan. Then, object A is a solar water heater. Then, where can you find C? Ano ba ang C? Oh, nakikita nyo yan? That's a roof ventilator. So, saan nakalagay? Metal roof. Okay? It's a mechanized form. Kung hindi kaya kinakaya ng hot air rise by itself para mas mabilis ang pagtanggal ng init sa isang factory, sa mga public market, they use it. Object C is used for what? So, syempre, industrial. Then, object B. O, saan yan? Cassette. Diba? Is called letter D. Object B, saan nilalagay? A, ceiling. Object E. Oh, Diyos ko po, kung sabihin nasa counter, ting-ting-ting, gano'n, pating-ting, kung na loob, sasaktan ko kayo pag yun ang isip nyo dyan. So, it is placed at the roof. Okay, kasi vent din siya, is a form of vent. Then, object D. Oh, what is D? Installed where? What is a wall? Exhaust fan yan. Okay? Now, itong bilog with that circular disc, nag-open, nag-close yan. So, it's an outlet of a tube or a duct, which is now known as the plenum. Okay? So, figure A is located at the plenum. And it's normally sometimes called the damper. So, figure D, ano ba yung figure D natin? Oh, nasa roof deck na naman. So, cooling tower. Okay? And then, figure E. Oh, outside unit. ACCU sa nilalagay. Wall, outside the building. And, for natural lighting, kita nyo naman yung A na nagbibigay sa inyo ng sunlight or skylight. Di ba? Ayan. So, that is figure A. Gravity vent, primarily used as active fire protection mechanism. Okay, gravity vent. Gravity, pababa. Yun ang ibig sabihin. So, obvious na obvious. Nakita yung pababa. That would be figure E. Vent boot or pipe boot. Okay, boot, parang boots. Yun ang lang isipin nyo. O, dito mukhang boots. So, figure D. Then, gravity vent ulit. So, yun naman, figure E. Kasi pag tumaas ang hot air, tayong pataasin, nabababa. Kaya nakita mo yung kanina, oh, stock effect. O yan, oh, pababa. So, by way of the looper, akyat, so yun ang prinsipyo. Okay, para ma-disperse lalo. Lead pipe. Okay, kanina naman yung tsura, kulay pa lang, lead na. That would be letter C. Lead pipe flashing. This is a type of glass that is treated with metallic coating. So, sometimes, building na nabalutan ng parang mirror na eh. Diba? And it becomes reflective. So, ano ang purpose nito? Para yung init ng araw, reflect lahat, hindi papasok. Meron konting-konting transmission. The purpose of that is para mapalamig mo kagad yung building mo sa loob kung nag-aircon ka. That is really for aircon. Kung lang ang aircon, kamatay-matay yan. Okay? So, the answer is reflective glass. Okay? Now, what is R value, also known as R factor? Tingnan nyo yung prinsipyo. The higher the R factor, the better insulated the window. So, if you have clear glass, wala siyang R factor. Once ilagay mo ng tint na color na nakaka-filter or nagle-less ang transmission ng radiant heat, then tumatas yung R value niya, R factor. Okay? So, tingnan yung aluminum window. Baba na R factor. So, the more insulation that you place, the higher the higher the R factor. Okay, vice versa, the higher the R factor, the better insulated the window. Clear? Marami ring nagkakamali dito kasi huwag padalos-dalos. Sinabi niya, west-facing side of buildings. Pero ang inisip nyo kagad, yung louvers. Eh, hindi napapansin, nagmumula yung glass. Recommended glass at west-facing. Diba? Glass ang tinatanong. Therefore, even if you look at the louver there, okay, east-west, nakalagay louvers. Aba, glass pa tinatanong. So, hindi po louvers ang answer. Heavy tint. Kasi west yan eh. Diba? The darker, the more R factor, the better the insulation. So, naka-west siya. So, ayaw niyang tanggapin. O, di heavy tint tayo. Floor surface material can be used. So, sinabi ko nga ito sa mga bedrooms, sa acoustic theater, or tinatawag na home theater, with plaster flooring. Okay, and top side. Ay. Wait, I have to go back. Pasensya na ha. Nagsasita mo naman kayo. Nawala yung what? Okay, calm down lang. Kung meron naman akong, okay mag-agit na, tao naman po. Kakamali rin. So, sa kaya rito yung hindi nakita. Alam ko na, buti na nagdodron ka. So, ito, ayan. Reflected glass, R factor, ayun po yun, the higher R factor, the better insulated the window, and this one. So, if you look at the east-west, sabi niya louver, pero heavy tint, pillows glass. Okay, ayan. Yun lang pala. Okay, so elevator tayo. Waiting time for elevators. Ang recommended is 20 seconds. Pero nakikita nyo rito, okay, depending on the excellent, the good, the moderate, office space, hotel, residential, healthcare. So napapansin nyo yan. O yan ang mga sinusunod. The waiting time for elevators. So, depende kasi syempre, hindi siya constant sa 20. So, depending on the function, depending on the classification rating niya, or considerations for, or criteria for excellence, for excellent, good, moderate, meron tayong table at least. Okay, so study elevators daw. And I took the liberty of placing keywords here. Shaft is the vertical passageway, car is the cage. Cables here, 3 to 8 nakalagay, pero that is taken from the dictionary, Visual Dictionary of Architecture by DKG. Visual Dictionary of Architecture, DKG. National Code Code 46 cables. Steel stranded cables. Counterweights, hindi ko na keyword dito, rectangular blocks, guide rails, vertical tracks. So keywords lang yan. Okay, machine room, of course, nakikita natin sa taas yan, sa roof deck, where the elevator machine is, which is G, and the control, which is yung pinipindot natin, so may floor selection button, may emergency, etc. The definitions here are taken from the Visual Dictionary of Architecture. So, ano yung nakapoint sa arrow? Of course, that would be your railing, where you make the car upright para hindi mag-twist. Minimum height, depende sa brochure. Okay? Depende sa brochure, depende sa floor-to-floor height ng mismong architect. So, we are not fixed here. Okay? But, from previous exam, ayan, 2.4 ang ginagamit. Now, look at that part. Nakita nyo, 2.4, nandun po, naka-stipulate doon sa part na yon. Okay? So, meron tayong basis. Now, dito naman, based on National Code 0.60, walang 0.60. So, pinakamalapit is 0.5. And, buffer allowance, yung pong may spring sa baba. So, that would be now your spring buffer or oil buffer, and that is nasaan? O di, syempre, nasa elevator kit. And, okay. Controls the elevator doors, elevator control car. O, naman natin yan. So, yung nakikita natin to, floor selection button, sa labas, up and down, para ma-indicate kung saan tayo pupunta, bababa tayo, or akit tayo. Okay. Next po. Diba? Power interruption, ATS ulit yan. Ay, wait lang po. Saglit lang po. Saglit lang po. Pasensya nyo. Okay. So, wait. 7, elevator control panel, ATTS. Now, ito yung, pag nakikita yung elevator car, yung kakaroon ng ascending path pag-descend kasi kailangan makita niyo yung sensor para magbukas sila ng pareho because the shaftway has the door and the car has a door. So, dapat pareho sila synchronized na magbubukas. So, yan ay kung tama yung pagkaka-landing nung pinaka-bottom ng elevator car dun sa sensor. So, once na hindi niya nahuli, naakyat siya, pero nahuli siya ng konti, bumaba, and then nag-open yung dalawa. Okay, so this is now, nag-level sila. Kita niyo na answer. Automatic two-way leveling device. And then, connections between car and openings. Ano ibig sabihin ng connection between car and openings? Kasi hindi pa, yung car, at saka yung opening, kasasabi ko lang, yung car nasa shockway. Tapos nun, merong opening. Hindi ba pag nakikita yung elevator nasa baba, pero meron pa rin pintuan sa shockway. So, the connection between the car and the opening is the hoist. Okay? So, haba na sinabi ko, ang huliin mo lang dito, piston eh. Hindi naman winoword na piston yung hydraulic. So, piston that travels inside the cylinder, and that would be now your hydraulic. Provides electric power to the car and travel with the hoist. Umakit yan. Yung cable na yan, bumababa yung cable na yan. So, nagta-travel with the elevator. So, that's the traveling cable. Napapansin niyo siguro yan. Dahil sa mga sinikit-kita yan. Okay, now, it's just intersection. Hindi kayo dito nito. So, let's play by intersection. And even if you have Chinese characters here, meron din naman siyang mga konti-konti na mga English terms. So, nakikita niyo ba, may tatlo dito na width, depth, height. How do you translate that? The width depth here is the car. The width depth here is the shaft. The width depth height is the elevator machine roof. Okay, palaki ng palaki. So, at that point, tingnan natin siya sa ganitong question. Hahanapin niyo muna si 11 kilowatts. Nandun sa baba, rated power niyo, 11. So, sinabi niya, what is the loading capacity? Bigat. Bigat is kilogram. 11, akyat. Oops, nahuli na, 2,000. Ayan po. Okay, 11 sa baba, 2,000 ang kanyang kilogram. Oh, 2,000. And then, 3 ton capacity is 3,000 kilograms, 3 tons. Ayun, nasa taas. Then, what is the elevator width? Elevator width. Oops, width ng elevator. Car size. O, di yun na. Tingnan na natin. Ano answer? 2,100. Okay? And then, 0.25 huliin natin. Nasa 0.25 rated speed in meter per second. Yan, meter per second. 0.25. So, shaft width naman. Shaft width. Okay, ito. Shaft width. Oy, nakita mo na 4,000. Okay, shaft width. Okay, 4,000. And then, what is the machine room width? O, dito tayo sa width ng machine room ha. Having a tractor ratio of 1:1. Hanapin natin 1:1. Nasa baba, tractor. So, width daw ng machine room. Width. Oh, yun na tumumbo ko. Ano? Better be. 2.8. Okay, ganun dapat tumingin. Kayo matakot dyan. Walang COVID yan, mga yan. Okay. Chinese character kasi. Ni hao ma. Diba? Mga bira ng gano'n. Anyway, after inspecting our 5-story building, the Bureau of fire protection required the owners to install an elevator recommended it to be located at space in the stairwell. Normally, ganito to. Yung dati, noong unang panahon, ang mga style ng hagdanan ay ganyan. Oops, ganun. Tapos meron dito. O di, yan ang tinan mo. Kung kasya ba ang elevator shaft dyan. O yun lang po yun. Okay, so the answer is elevator shaft. And then, three-story, kanina hospital, ngayon senior citizen. At binigyan kayo ng clue. O, limited budget lang sa space. Siyempre, kukunin mo mas mali, kukunin mo yung mas mura. Ano ba mas mura? Electric elevator or what? Or traction elevator, which is running electric. Eh, di hydraulic tayo. Okay? Nagbibiro ba to? Hoist way on elevator is also known as shafkway or shaft. Kasi doon na sinabi ko, pagka yung elevator hindi umaandar, bumababa yan. Okay? Especially when there is fire. So, bakit ba kasi bumababa? Ba't hindi mo magamit? Unang-una, pag humatak yan pataas, halimbawa, inakyat mo kasi pupunta doon, hihigupin niya yung apoy, susundan ka. Pag humatak yan pababa, i-pressurize mo apoy sa ground floor. Okay, so once na nagkaroon na ng sunog, eh binababa na kagad siya. And at the same time, okay, control. Ito ang drama niyan. Napanood niyo ba yung kwan? Ghost Protocol, si Jeremy Renner? You fall, I catch you, sabi ni Simon Pegg. Okay. Okay, assuming that nandito yung elevator car sa baba na. And you see that there are shafts way here. Shafway. Ducts, I mean shafway ka dyan. Wabo. So, ba, pinasukan niya ng smoke or pinasukan niya ng apoy. At it-rises, diba? So, ito, naging smoke shaft. Okay? Yun yung punto eh. Naging smoke shaft. So, hindi mo talaga magagamit to. Kasi kahit na mabuksan mo yung hinayupak na paano yan, na door, ay, malalaglag ka niyan. Okay? So, it is placed at the ground floor. Oh, low-rise, keyboard na kagad, hydraulic. What is the term of rows of elevator? Gusto niyo ba ng British or gusto niyo ng American? Ang American ay elevator bank. Ang mga Britano, malalandi, maarte, lift lobby, ang tawag nila. Okay? So, identify nga natin. Nakikita niyo, pinapakita yung bilog sa elevator machine room. And that will be now your sheave. Okay? Then, ipakita naman yung nasa tagiliran, which makes the elevator car upright. That's the rail. And now, you see that the bottom part there, which contains the spring, is of course, the buffer. Simple di ko ba? Mounted about 42 inch above the finished floor, these buttons illuminate when pressed and is used to request an elevator to your floor. Obvious ba? Floor selection buttons. Okay? Next. Okay, sagot na. At 1.20, it's a small freight elevator that carries object, not humans, not heavy cargo. So, alam na natin, dumbwaiter ang makakaganap yan. And who invented the first safety? Hindi siya nag-invento ng elevator ha, safety ng elevator ang kanyang inimbento. So, nung din ang safety sa klase yan, kahit pinuto yung mga kable, yung mismong safety, humawag sa rail at unti-unti siyang nire-release para hindi bumaksak free fall. So, that is Alicia Graves Otis. Okay, next. Okay, last part of our first discussion. Again, meron pa tayong discussion sa pre-board and discussion on the lightcast. Escalator tayo. Oh, di ba maximum minimum speed lang naman 90 feet per minute or 120 feet per minute. 120 feet per minute normally is used for mga transportational. Yung mga LRTs, etc. 90 feet per minute is more for recreational use. Mga mall. O di syempre maximum. Paulit-ulit lang. And the usual speed. Okay, 90 feet per minute. Wait, sorry. So what do you call the steps of an escalator? Meron pa bang ibang pangalan niya? Kundi escalator step or tread. Okay? And then, escalator should not be used for ang problema nito, diba? Sinabi na nga natin, huwag mo nang gamitin. Hindi po pwedeng gamitin yan for escape. Diba ba? Eh, mainam sana kung meron tayong tinatawag na panic room na nangyayari sa ibang bansa. Eh, wala. Tukha tayo. Hindi pwede. So, ito naman, masyado to. Napaka-specific. ASME A17.1. Ito yung mga hindi practical na question eh. Mga tagang piling ka sa Panginoon. Anak ka ng Diyos eh. Anak, 22 yan. Sabi sa'yo ng Panginoon. 22 po ka. Salamat po, Panginoon. Yun. Diba? Ito yung mga pinapasan Diyos muna. Kasi kung di mo talaga alam, mismo, kapatid mo ba ang isang mechanical engineering book just for this answer? Sige na. O, tingnan nyo. Safety code for elevators and escalators. Yan. And taken from, sabi pang ang daming number, 6.1.3.5.2. Dugo pa lang, dugo pa na. O yun. The width of a step tread shall not be less than 560 mm or 22 inches nor more than 1020 mm. So, eksaktuhan. Ayun, 22. Diba? And in choosing the location of an escalator, the main consideration would be, what? Oh. Siyempre, congestion of area. Ito naman pipili sa kumpulan. What is the most economic, paulit-ulit, most economical layout for escalators? The answer is crisscrossed. Okay, so tatanungin yan naman. What is the advantage of arranging escalators in crisscross pattern? So sabi lang natin, mura, less expensive to construct. So the explanation. Most common arrangement of escalators places the entrances and exits to their upper and lower ends at the opposite ends of the escalator is known as a crisscross arrangement. Escalator arranged in this fashion can be built for less money. O yun na. Tanyo, so less expensive to construct. Which escalator more economical? Crisscross na naman. Crisscross ulit. A prime consideration is cost. Crisscross. So you were asked to design a terminal for the MRT transportational building po tayo. Taking into consideration the huge number of passengers. Which arrangement for the escalation will you employ? It's known as the stack parallel. Okay, stack parallel. So yun, stack parallel arrangement for transportation buildings. Why are fire preventive equipment installed in escalators? Minsan magugulat ka. Hay, na ba yan? Akyat ka. Kung kailan naakyat, patay yung escalator. Naubusan siya ng lubricating oil. Pag naubusan siya ng lubricating oil, so nagtatama na ang metal sa metal. Diba? Kung nagtamang metal sa metal, kahit sabi ko mountain bike yung pinakamagandang uri na. Kung nagprolong ka ng paggamit at nawalan ka ng lubricating, makikiskis ang dalawang metal which causing friction and will cause friction because enclosed siya pwedeng sulit lang. Okay, because of the oil. Okay? So, the answer. Escalators are prone to overheating and have caused several fires before. So, slope of escalator based on page 469 of the National Building Code, the angle of inclination of escalator shall not exceed 30 degrees from the horizontal. And if the 90 feet per minute is not present in multiple choice, the 90 feet per minute